Okay, kwa majina naitwa Mr. Robert Makoha Wangoho, rais wa bunge la mwananchi la Nakuru County, na leo tunaongea kuhusu mkutano ambao ulifanyika kaunti ya Embu during the consecration and installation of Embu Catholic Diocese Bishop by the name Peter Kimani Dungu. Now, during the event we realized that kulikuwa na viongozi kama aliyekuwa rais wa taifa la Kenya Bwana Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, kulikuwa na President Ruto, kulikuwa na former deputy president Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, kulikuwa na the current deputy president who is Mr. Abraham Kithure Kindiki. Now, during the introduction we realized that somehow the name of the former deputy president had been skipped. It had not been recognized by the bishop who was ushering in the guests, and we had an uproar from the people who are listening, who are seated there, and that one brought some confusion until the bishop who was ushering in had to retract back and also recognize the presence of former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. And after the meeting, it was discovered that a good crowd of people was also booing the current president of Kenya, Mr. William Samoei Ruto, as well as the same crowd applauding and following behind the former deputy president, who is Rigathi Gachagua. What does that message contain? Or why did all that happen? So that is a clear indication that the people from the mountain region are still supporting the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, and at the same time, when the president was also speaking and endorsing SHA, the Social Health Authority, in the same meeting, we had people shouting at him and booing him. So that is also a clear indication that something is being forced to the people, to their throat, without their own approval from heart, which is very wrong. So, what can we learn from all those events which I've just mentioned? It is clear that the king of the mountain, if not Uhuru Kenyatta, because he was also applauded, then obviously it is Rigathi Gachagua who is still the boss, and not Kithure Kindiki, and not William Samoei Ruto, as opposed to what Ruto administration was thinking, that if by endorsing Kithure Kindiki, they maintain their support base at the Mount Kenya region. For you to prove that, the meeting was happening in Gema. Gema is Embu. Embu is part of Gema, my friend. And if it is Gema that has produced a deputy president Kithure Kindiki, then why do you think the people are reacting in such an irritating manner when the president was talking? That is an indication that hawakupendelea mtoto wao atupwe nje kama muda wao wa miaka 5 haujaisha. Again, same people were speculating that and complaining that if at all the grounds which sent Gachagua home were tribalism and corruption, then why would there be someone of the caliber of Kithure Kindiki, because the president had also chosen or nominated him on a tribal ground? So if it is tribalism, at the same time, President William Samoei Ruto from history is known more to be tribalistic. At the same time, he is a corrupt individual, courtesy of the files or the history that we have had him right from the time he was serving as a member of parliament of Eldoret North. It clearly shows that William Samoei Ruto is a tribal man. So it was wrong for Gachagua to go. That one came days after a complaint had been launched by the Association of the Bishops in Kenya, or the conference, the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, which came out to condemn the administration of William Samoei Ruto, where it said that the kind of manifestos which the president had actually delivered during the campaign period, none of them had been implemented fully. They mentioned the issue of the high cost of living. They mentioned the collapse of Medicare system, whereby they said that social health authority was not realistic to the people. They also mentioned about the abductions and the extrajudicial killings to those people who are opposed to William Samoei Ruto government. So we saw some reactions from William Ruto allies led by Kapsaret Member of Parliament Mr. Oscar Sodi, who came out to say that Muheria was a man who was a tribal bigot because he was only supporting people who are from the mountain region. And then people started questioning, why will Mr. Sudi make such like utterances at a time we knew very well that it was not only Muheria who came out to complain or to read the statement to the public. Muheria was just one amongst the 28 bishops. Amongst them, Mr. Kimengiji from the Diocese of Eldoret, Mr. Kinyo from the Diocese of Nairobi, Mr. Kinama from the Diocese of Bungoma, and of course Muheria himself from Nyeri. Why did the Sudi choose out only one man from Nyeri? Could it be, or could it have been that in Nyeri he directed his anger to Muheria because the former deputy president came from here and they totally want to shut the region completely so that nobody mentions the name of Gachagua? Or why will a person of the caliber of Sudi come out only to show direct fight to that bishop by the name Anthony Muheria? So that one aside, 2 days ago, after the ordeal had taken place, we have also seen some other denominations led by that one of the Muslim community, followed by the Anglican Church and Etar. They have backed up their colleagues who came out to say that actually the government was not doing what the people elected it for. So that means that there is something which is actually wrong in our government of Kenya. And my information to the head of state, he must understand that the Catholic community has got up to a total of 18 million people in Kenya. And these 18 million people, amongst them, a good number of them played a very big role in ensuring that the current president of the Republic of Kenya assumes the office of the president. Now, if the president can go attend a graduation ceremony at Tangaza Institute, and then he makes claims condemning the bishops by telling them that they must be very sure of what they are saying. Yes, of course, these people are very sure because they had information drawn from various departments of the government explaining as to why William Samoei Ruto had failed the people who elected him. For example, these bishops launched a very simple question to President Ruto. They asked the president that if at all it is not the government that is abducting and exposing Kenyans to extrajudicial killings, then what has the government done to ensure that there is safety for Kenyans who are innocent? Or will the government forever stay there to say that yes, people are being abducted, but they are not, it is not the government which is abducting them? Or what next? Because people are dying in unclear circumstances, yet there is the government of the day that elected them. So that one is something that triggered the president and his allies to come out to condemn the bishops. And today I'm also giving a message to the former deputy CJ, Madam Boss Sholei, you have no moral authority to condemn and warn the bishops that they should call for an appointment, they should ask for an appointment to State House so that they tell Ruto what they want him to do. The president knows very well his duties to Kenyans, and therefore not everyone will go to State House to say or to set the observations on the accountability of the government in its duties. Not every Kenyan will be given an appointment to State House. Churches at the same time, in as much as they are regulated by the government of Kenya, they are independent institutions. That's why when it comes to the roles of the church, they are separate from those roles of the executive. Therefore, it was very wrong for Madam Bolsholei to come out and say that the bishops will have sought for an appointment in State House to go and talk to William Ruto. If they will have gone that route, be very sure that they will have been given a lot of money by the government. And when you are given money, your mouth is shut or stitched. Once your mouth has been stitched, there is nothing you are going to stand as a church, which is a neutral body, to condemn or correct the government wherever it is going wrong. So those people who are defending the president by telling the bishops off, know that bishops have come back to their senses. 2024 is not 2021. You people used to carry the brown envelopes to the churches to coerce them, to befriend them, just to carry their minds with money. Right now, these people seem to have come to their senses and they are ready to stand with the Kenyans. So the best the President of the Republic of Kenya can do is to ensure that they are doing things in line with the Constitution of Kenya. They are ensuring that they are delivering the manifestos which they promise Kenyans during their campaigns. You cannot today come out and show the people of Kenya a single project that was actually initiated and implemented by William Samoei Ruto. The projects which we are saying as Kenyans are the projects that were launched and implemented by the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Even if they were with the Ruto, we understand by that time Ruto was campaigning, and that's why his functions were also given to one, the interior minister by then, Mr. Matiang'i. So it is quite unfortunate that whereas the government is corrected, it should accept the mistakes and also correct it where it is failing Kenyans. It comes out with the defense. Obviously, when you defend yourself, Kenyans will think that you are saying the truth, but you are not implementing the exact thing that you are given position to serve Kenyans for. Another issue that I also want to talk about is the issue of the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga coming out to bash the members of parliament, to also bash the president. We should be very clear that Raila Amolo Odinga joined the government, the broad-based government by William Samoei Ruto, and he was given some slots to his friends. Therefore, if they signed that kind of agreement, he should be truthful to his friend William Samoei Ruto. He should not confuse Kenyans by coming out to appear a good man, to appear as a statesman, by telling off the members of parliament. These members of parliament, of whom some were drawn from Azimio la Umoja, were used to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. I didn't hear Raila Amolo Odinga saying that his members of parliament were not going to be part and parcel of the impeachment process that was initiated by the government to send Gachagua home. For us to believe in him that today, when he says they are taking up the function of the governors of building roads and school projects, they are bad. Let us call a spoon and a spade, not a spoon being referred to as a big spade, or a spade being referred to as a spoon. By saying so, I mean that if it is defending the governors, the former premier will have just come out to tell his colleague, who is William Samoei Ruto, the president, that development at county level is something which is very important, and that the president should go on approving the 401 million Kenyan shillings which the governors had been promised earlier on, rather than coming out to condemn the MPs that the monies which the MPs are using in development are supposed to be added to the county governments for them to come up with the projects. I believe Raila Amolo Odinga was saying so just to appear as good as he is, so that when he goes to the AU, should any kind of question pop up about what he's doing back at home as the leader of the opposition, then he'll have that one as defense point. Quite unfortunate. And as I'm speaking today, the governors came out and they told us that there is looming county shutdown because of lack of the disbursement of the 63 billion Kenyan shillings to each and every county across the country. So William Samoei Ruto should just accept to fund the counties as it is in the law, but it should not appear as if he is giving a favor or extending a favor or a helping hand to the counties. Devolution should be respected, and our governors should be given money for them to be able to initiate projects and also implement the same projects which they will have initiated. Let us not see blame game where the governors say that they don't have enough money to initiate and implement projects, because they are saying that majority or a good amount of the money that the national government gives them is being used on a recurrent expenditure, that is the payment of bills as well as the payment of the salaries of the civil servants in Kenya. Therefore, it is high time the government of Kenya woke up and gave the governors a good share of the money